Alright, today's lesson is on understanding chords, how to build a major scale. The major scale, or Ionian scale, is one of the most commonly used musical scales, especially in Western music. Like many musical scales, it is made up of 7 notes. The 8th duplicates the first at double its frequency so that it is called a higher octave of the same note. From the Latin octavus, the 8th. For example, if the C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, the low C and the high C are called octaves. The major scale consists of a series of whole steps, except for half steps between the 3rd and the 4th and the 7th and 8th degrees. On the ukulele, a half step is 1 fret apart. A whole step is 2 frets apart. So a half step sounds like this. A whole step sounds like this. The C major scale consists of the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If you look at the picture of the fingering on the fretboard, you can see that from C to D is a whole step. From E to F and B to C are half steps. Every major scale follows this pattern. So you start on the note, for example, C, then it's a whole step to D, then it's a whole step to E, then it's a half step to F, then it's a whole step to G, then it's a whole step to A, it's a whole step to B, and it's a half step to C. So the pattern of every major scale is you start, then whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Building a major chord. A major chord is a triad, which means it is a chord made up of 3 notes. The major chord contains the 1st, 3rd, and 5th notes of a major scale. The notes of a C major scale are the 1st, or the root, the 3rd, and the 5th notes, which are C, or the root note, E, the 3rd, and G, the 5th. Together, it sounds like this. How the major chord is written. The major chord can be written down in several different ways. First, you might see it just as a plain capital letter. For example, capital C indicates it's C major. Or it can be written out C with the word major. Or third, you can use the Roman numeral 1, so uppercase. Roman numeral tells you it's a major chord. It can also be used with a triangle shape following the capital letter. For example, C triangle indicates it's a C major chord. So those are all the different ways you can write out the major chord. Once you know the letters of the notes in the major chord, how do you transfer it to the ukulele? So first, you need to know the names of each string and fret on the ukulele. So if you turn the ukulele sideways as indicated in that picture, you look below it, it shows the 4 different strings. And on each fret, it tells you all the different names of each note that you're playing on each fret of each string. So that's a handy thing to learn to memorize. You may start with the easiest string, which is the A string, and then work your way down. But once you know all of that, then you can figure out any chord. Building the C major chord on the ukulele. The C major chord is a triad, but the ukulele has 4 strings. So how does that work? So you'll play C on one of the strings, you'll play E on another string, you'll play G on another string, and then one string will have to double a letter, so it might be C. So in the C chord, you'll be playing C, E, G, and C again. Sounds like this. So the C chord on the ukulele are the notes C, E, and G. One way to do it is to circle the C. So you see in the red here, you're going to circle that. That's where you put your finger down. So you know you're playing C. E is this open string, right? These are the open strings, G, C, E, A. So you're playing C, E is open, that's in the chord, C, E, G. C is in the chord, it's open. and G is in the chord. So all you need to do is press down one string, and that fingers your C chord, C, E, G. So let's build another chord on the ukulele, B flat. So in the B flat chord, you have B flat, D, and F. So here, there's several ways you could do it, but here's the easiest, all right? So B flat, you press that string down, then you need an F in there, and then you need a D, and then a B flat again. So that's how you would finger a B flat. So you can build any major chord. You can figure out any major chord if you know the notes of the scale and then the first, third, and fifth notes. You can figure out any major chord fingering on the ukulele if you know the names of each fret on each string. There are multiple ways of fingering the same chord on the ukulele fretboard. Right, these are common ukulele scales. Circled in red are the notes in the major chords for each scale. The first, the third, and the fifth scale degrees. So you can see the C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The notes in the C major chord are C, E, G. If you look at the D major scale, it's D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. But when you play the D major chord, the notes in that are D, F sharp, and A. And similarly, all the way down, E major, circled in the red, are the notes of each major chord. E major, F major, G major, and B flat major. So the C major chord is C, E, G, the D major chord is D, F sharp, A, and so forth. Memorize the notes and the common chords you most often use. Understanding what notes are in a chord can help you to figure out alternate chord fingerings and can also help you to solo or improvise in the future if you know what notes to play in which chords.